As March comes to an end and April begins, I wanted to highlight the 10 games that I'm looking forward to releasing in the month of April 2026. Welcome into another video. My name is Jake, aka JakeyP, and April offers a wide variety of games that excite me, from brand new releases to indie games and the games releasing on platforms they weren't available on before. So without further ado, let's get started. First off, we have Darwin's Paradox. This is a new game coming from Konami where you play as an octopus, where you're platforming, solving puzzles, and sneaking through 2D levels. I played the demo for Darwin's Paradox back in February and really enjoyed my time with it. Now, was my level of enjoyment affected by the demo being a level inspired by Metal Gear Solid? Perhaps. But I did enjoy the demo for the gameplay moments. The game feels really inspired by games like Limbo and Inside, with the 2D platforming and finding your opportunity to continue through the level while staying out of enemy sightlines. The game releases April 2nd, and I'm looking forward to seeing if the rest of Darwin's Paradox can keep the same highs I felt during the demo. Next up, we have an interesting one. Starfield is coming to PlayStation 5. I played Starfield back when the game released on Xbox in 2023, and I had a good time with the game. I didn't love the game, but I also didn't regret my time with the game. I've loosely kept up with Starfield over the years, hearing about the different updates made to the game, from quality of life changes to actual game layout updates, like changing the interiors of buildings so they don't all look the same. I have two reasons for being interested in Starfield coming to PlayStation. The first reason, this would be a pretty easy platinum trophy. I got all the achievements for the game when I played on Xbox, and I would be down to do it again on PlayStation. Secondly, I never played the Shattered Space DLC, and with the PlayStation release, another story DLC, Terran Armada, is being added to the game as well. So, even though this is a re-release of an older game, there is a decent amount of content that'll be new for me to experience when Starfield comes to PlayStation 5 on April 7th. Next, we have Pokemon Champions. For this game, I would say I'm more interested in checking it out rather than anticipating it. I've never played an actual Pokemon game before. I've played Pokemon Go on and off again over the years, and the only console Pokemon game I've played is Let's Go Pikachu. However, I am looking forward to Pokemon Winds and Wave releasing sometime in 2027, and I feel like Pokemon Champions could help me improve on my greatest weakness when it comes to Pokemon games: battling. I basically have no knowledge when it comes to battling in an efficient manner in Pokemon. So I'm curious to see if Pokemon Champions can train me for future Pokemon releases that I'll be checking out. And hey, who knows? Maybe I'm the greatest Pokemon trainer to ever exist. We'll find out on April 8th when the game releases. Next up, we have a really fun one. Hades 2. One simple reason for why I'm excited for this game to release on a platform other than the Nintendo Switch: trophies. I played the crap out of Hades 2 when it launched on Nintendo Switch 2 last year. I didn't get too far into the first Hades, but I feel like Hades 2 is an improvement for many reasons over the first game, but especially in the permanent progression. In Hades 2, I actually felt like I was progressing after each run, even though I died to the same boss for the third time in a row. I felt the progression through leveling up the keepsakes and crafting permanent weapon and ability upgrades. Hades 2 is an incredible game, and I'm so happy that now I'll have the opportunity to get the Platinum Trophy for this game. Hades 2 releases on April 14th, and I can't wait to sink another 50 hours into the game. Speaking of April 14th, Replaced also releases. Replaced was announced all the way back in 2021, and it is finally coming out. It's another 2D platformer in the vein of Limbo or Inside, but instead of sneaking around enemies, you're taking the fight to them. This game just has so much style to it. The cyberpunk aesthetic the game provides will be a nice change of pace from the dreary, gray settings I feel like all these types of games bring. My only hang-up with the game at the moment is the combat. It just doesn't look too engaging, but I haven't been able to get my hands on the controller yet. It took 5 years since being announced, but Replace will finally be released on April 14th. Next up, we have Mouse PI for Hire. I've been so interested in this game since it was announced back in 2023. After the success of Cuphead being able to stand out really easily using the rubber hose animation style, I'm surprised it's taken this long for more studios to use this art style. I really don't know much about the game, which I'm kind of glad about because I just want to experience the game for myself. Also, the studio being able to secure Troy Baker to voice the main character Jack Pepper is incredible. Recent previews from different media channels have raised my confidence in this game being enjoyable. The low end of the predicted time to beat is around 12 hours, which sounds fantastic. I look forward to blasting through Mouse PI for Hire in a couple of play sessions when the game releases on April 16th. Now time for another game that's been gestating a while. Pragmata. It's pretty crazy to think that this is one of the first games announced for the PlayStation 5 back in June 2020 at the reveal event. The story for this game so far seems pretty straightforward when compared to other narrative games. Main character guy teams up with a young girl to find a way to safety while traveling through a treacherous environment. What's interesting about this game is the combat. I've listened to many people talk about their previews with Pragmata and try to explain the combat, and it never made sense. Until I finally got my hands on the demo back in February. What your brain goes through while engaging in combat in Pragmata is what I imagine a person's brain is going through when they're playing a piano. Playing notes with your left hand at a different pace than the right hand while also using your foot on the pedals, that's how I felt fighting enemies in Pragmata. Doing a grid puzzle with X, square, triangle, and circle, while also dodging enemy attacks and keeping track of your resources. Pragmata is a game that I hope gives me a solid story and gameplay experience without staying its welcome for too long. Because while the combat feels engaging and new right now, I don't know if they can carry on for 20 plus hours. We'll have to wait and find out when Pragmata releases on April 17th. Vampire Crawlers is the next game releasing in April that has caught my attention. I don't think I've ever played a deck builder game before, but a quote-unquote sequel to Vampire Survivors is definitely a way to get me in. I played Vampire Survivors back in 2022 on Xbox and later again in 2024 on PlayStation, and both times the game took over my life. The roguelike gameplay loop that Vampire Survivors provided was so engaging and always made me want to do one more run. From what I've seen of Vampire Crawlers, it seems to have that same gameplay loop, just in a 3D first-person format that I'm sure is going to take over my life, just like the previous game did. And for $10, what a steal. I'm excited to jump into Vampire Crawlers when it launches on April 21st. It's time to get back into a game I haven't touched since the last expansion. Diablo 4. Diablo 4 is a game that I put over 200 hours into. Now I know that can be considered rookie numbers, but considering my playtime came mostly from the launch of Diablo 4 and when the Vessel of Hatred expansion launched, I'd say those are decent numbers. Diablo 4 is in my list of live service games that I jump into when the big new expansion or update comes out, and I sink another 50 to 100 hours into. And I'm going to be honest, I don't really care about the story implications the expansion brings into the game. I know people are excited for Mephisto to come into the game, but I'm more excited to check out the new character classes and exploring the new map that will be added. So you know where I'll be when the Lord of Hatred expansion launches for Diablo 4 on April 28th. Now finally for the last game in April to come out that I'm anticipating. The ordering of this video has been in release order, but Saros is definitely the game that I am most anticipating in the month of April. Returnal was the first game from Housemarque that I ever played. I never played Resogun or Nex Machina, but Returnal was definitely a game up my alley. Keeping the same arcade-style bullet hell gameplay, but making it a third-person shooter was the best call Housemarque could have ever made. I got a decent way through Returnal when I played it back in 2022, but I died at the third boss, got sent back to the first biome, and didn't want to go through all that again. So even though I admitted defeat in Returnal, Saros seems to be making some similar changes to how the game felt going from Hades to Hades 2. Hades 2 feels like more of Hades 1, just with more quality of life improvements and feeling like you're making progress through the game, even if you're not getting past a difficult boss fight. I would have already been excited for Saros if it was just more Returnal, but with the addition of permanent upgrades with skill trees and weapon and armor upgrades, as well as a more direct story, Saros seems like it's going to be a special game to experience. Also, Rahul Kohli voicing the main character is really awesome. I know of Rahul from showing up in Funhouse videos almost a decade ago, so it's really cool seeing him in a project like this. Well, there you have it. Those are the 10 games I'm looking forward to playing in April. Comment down below what games you're anticipating and what games I should put on my radar. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. You can also find me on my other YouTube channel, JustSomeDudes, where my buddy Skylar and I post weekly gameplay videos and post a weekly gaming podcast. Links to that channel and other social links will be down in the description. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you all next time.